Next, it is asking us to pick a color you like and give your PC a name. You'll be able to personalize more later. So let's see, we got several colors here we can pick from. Some of these you'll really like and some of these that you'll really hate. I don't know which one I want. Don't really have a favorite color. There's purple and bright pink. Let's see, maybe one of these greens is more. Maybe I'll choose this light green color here. And then for computer name, we want to make sure that you properly name your computer. And the reason why is because when the system administrator does Active Directory kind of computer management, if your computer is not named properly, he'll think that your machine is a rogue machine and he'll delete it from the Active Directory. And that isn't what you want, because you don't want to have to go through setting up your computer for the network over again just because it got deleted from the Active Directory because you didn't correctly name it. So the very first letters of your computer name has to do with your major. So if you're in landscape architecture, your computer name would start with LAR. If you're in the Department of Architecture, your computer name would be ARCH. If you are in interior architecture and product design, you would do IAPD. If you are in regional community planning, you would do RCP for regional community planning. If you are in the PhD curriculum, you would just do PhD like that. And then once you have identified your major, then we can add a dash in here. And then after the dash, you want to indicate or type in here your EID. So your EID is the front part of your email address. So the front part is all that stuff that happens before the @ symbol. So my email address is dac4303@ksu.edu, which means my EID is dac4303. And that's what needs to go into this box. The DAC 4303 part of my computer name. My number lock is not on, so let me try that again. 4303, there we go. If you have multiple computers, let's say that you're bringing a laptop, a desktop, and a tablet, and some other device that you're going to have join the network, then you would indicate a number on the end. So you do a -1, or a -2. Some people will do like -PC or a -Mac because they have a Mac and they have both Apple OS X and Microsoft Windows installed. So it's the same computer, but it has two operating systems. But it still needs to have a unique computer name, so you'll need to add Apple or Mac on the end. The part that's really important is this part right here. And anything that happens after the second dash, it really doesn't matter what you put there. I will tell you that computer names are limited to 15 characters in length, so you don't want it to be too crazy long. If you find that your EID is like really super long and you can't get it all to fit in there, sometimes it's best to maybe just indicate your last name. There's two reasons why that we put our EID or our last name in here. The first reason is so that we know that it's one of our student machines. The second reason is so that if something happens to your machine, like it becomes compromised or something and it's infecting everybody else on the network, we want to be able to find you and tell you that you need to unplug your computer from the network because it's spreading a virus or something. So there's lots of reasons, important reasons why you want to do this. So for this particular example, I might add -1 since I have multiple computers that I need to reformat. So this is my first one that I'm doing, and then once I'm done picking my color and properly naming my computer, I will click the next button down here on the lower right corner. So what I'm going to do here is I pretty much need to make a decision if I want to use Express or Custom. Automatically find and connect to devices, that should be fine. Automatically install Windows updates, app updates, that should be fine. Turn on Do Not Track. I won't be using Internet Explorer. I mean, I might be in a little bit in the beginning since I don't have Google Chrome installed yet. But for the most part, I'm going to be using Google Chrome. So all of these Internet Explorer settings are really not going to apply to me. I rarely ever use Bing, so that's another thing that I won't be using. So In this situation, what I'll probably do is choose Use Express Settings just to speed up this process. So I'll click on Use Express Settings. And now I'm going to be taken to Account Setup. So at this screen, it's asking us to sign in with your Microsoft account. If you don't have one, you can go down here and choose Create a New Account. It'll take you to this page here. So I'll go ahead and fill in my information. So it wants to do like a Outlook thing here, and I don't really have an Outlook account, so I'm going to click here, choose Use My Favorite. So that's my, you want to use your forever email address, and your forever email address is the email address that you'll have if you graduate, switch jobs, or whatever. After you graduate from K-State, your KSU.edu email address will obviously go away. And what we're doing here is we're just creating an account to give us access to cloud storage. You may or may not use the cloud. Either way, it's kind of handy to have around. So I'll go ahead and create for myself a password. There are certain attributes about a password which makes a password good. The first one is passwords should be a minimum of 8 characters in length. Second, they should contain alphanumeric characters. 3, have a mixture of upper and lowercase letters. 4, contain special characters. You want to be careful about the special characters, especially if you're using different keyboards. It's particularly important if you're an international student. If you go back home to your country, you may not have those special characters on your keyboard. So make sure you choose the characters that you know will be on the keyboard when you go back home. Let's see. You want to make sure that passwords are not dictionary words, because if a hacker wants to break in, they'll use every word in the dictionary first. You want to make sure it's not part of your username or your real name, because that's the obvious, that's what they're going to try. And then you want to make sure that it's not a past previously used password. And then lastly, you want to make sure it's not an easily guessed password. Basically, you want those hackers to work for your password. Make it hard for them. I'm going to go ahead and type in my password here. And then country, region, I'm going to leave this at United States. And then I'll go ahead and click Next. The next screen is going to ask you about security type information. This is just basically to verify your identity. And here they're going to want you to put in an alternate email address. So I'm guessing that this is probably a way to help you recover your password, which is pretty handy. So I'm guessing Microsoft probably knew that people forgetting their local system passwords would be a major issue. So this is probably a way for you to get your local system password back. So over here where it says birth date, gender, you need to go ahead and fill all of this stuff out. Put in a different email address in here. So this would be another forever email address that you would have. And then click Next. After you click Next, it'll say Communication Preferences. We want to make sure that a real person is signing into this PC. Enter these characters. So I'm going to type in S5XSKQ. And then there's a couple of check boxes here. Enhance my online experience by telling Microsoft advertising. Use my account information. I don't think so. Okay, next one is send my promotional offers for Microsoft. I don't want any promotional offers. I'm sure you don't want to get a lot of spam in your email either. So from here, we'll go ahead and click Next. After I click Next, we get a little please wait thing going on here. And the next thing we get is help us protect your info when accessing sensitive info from your account or device. We also have the option to say I can't do this right now. So this will probably be the thing that I click so that we can continue on with this process. So it's setting up our account. This may take a few minutes. Finalizing your settings now. Now we get the little welcome screen that appears here. It says we're setting things up for you. We can get new apps from the store. When it finishes completing all of its setup processes and configuring and app downloading and everything that it needs to do, you'll eventually get something that looks somewhat like this. Yours may look a little bit different, maybe configured a little bit differently, but it kind of looks like, I guess, like a cell phone kind of interface. It should look something like this when it's all done.